So I'm Erin Brockovich, and I'm best known as a consumer advocate and known for the film Erin Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts. And I'm known as a consumer advocate, an environmental activist. I recently released a book called Superman's Not Coming. It's about our national water crisis and what we, the people, can do about it. I think we think that federal oversight, state oversight, local oversight, the municipalities, they got our back. That's not what's happening. It is our job, every individual person's job, to understand your water quality, your water consumption, our water issues, our droughts, and how each of us can make a contribution to help saving and preserving water. Why did I choose turf exchange for my turf? Well, that's a great question, because I do a great deal of research. And so I started researching online about turf. I wanted to know who had like organic turf, or who had pet turf, or who was thinking about turfs that looked more natural. All of these things were going through my mind. And I found through Google, searching websites, turf exchange. But what stopped me there was it was answering a lot of my questions. Pet turf. I'm like, oh, see, there is something. You know, what is pet turf? Well, it's more aerated. So I'm like, I'm learning something. I like this because I have pets and I care about my pets, and we all do. And it talked about no lead. It talked about a different backing. It talked about no crushed rubber. It talked about more organic materials. I like this. So I made an inquiry about this company, and it was local. I like local. I like community. I like family owned. So I filled out a little form, and I got a call back from the owner, Mitch. And he came out to the house. And what happened with Mitch and I is something we don't do very much that changed everything. And that was a conversation. And it was a conversation about my concerns. Changing your landscape's a big deal. It costs money. This isn't just a cheap endeavor. So things that were important to me, licensed and bonded, and knowing how to lay turf. Mitch answered every one of those questions for me. So this is good because he's answering my questions and my concerns about toxicity, answering my concerns about the animals and what makes the pet turf different. Okay, turf gets hot. Well, as Mitch reminded me, and I have a swimming pool and grandkids and kids that I raised here, when it's 95 degrees, hello, the cement's hot. We live in a cement jungle. There's always going to be some pros and cons to everything. But the 3,000 square feet of turf that I laid, already in a cement jungle, I don't know if it's that ginormous of a contribution when I want to weigh the option here of no longer using a sprinkler system that's not conserving water, that's a huge suck on the water system when every one of us is watering our lawns, that it was a sustainable options. And it's for those reasons that I chose turf exchange. Family oriented, local, the community. I've watched his crews install it. I've watched the community come out and the interaction, because we're all trying to do the best thing and the right thing. And I feel that I made a right choice in being accountable for my own water consumption, what could help save it. And I gotta tell you, I was worried about the dogs. I've never seen my dogs poop in a lawn so often. They love it out there. In the mornings it's nice and cool. In the mid to late afternoon it turns nice and cool. But for me it's like I can see it, it's right there, I pick it up, but they've christened it. So I'm saying from a pet perspective, that's a thumbs up. So, I'm happy to be here today, and I want to be here today. just to share what I know and the great experience I had in what I thought would be something I would never do. And that is a turf exchange. They do amazing work, thorough work, professional work. Everything about them is top rated. And while it's a personal decision, don't be afraid to call Mitch at Turf Exchange and invite him on out for a conversation. The installers, the crew, were fabulous. There was 16 of them. And I've had construction done at my house before. You know, one thing about construction crews is they can leave a mess. Oh my gosh! This crew, efficient. They come in. They knew what they were doing. They knew how to cut the grass. They knew how to roll up the sod. They knew how to bring down the soil. Everything, talk about prepared. Everything was prepared out front, from the aggregate to the turf to the supervision to the crew. They were in sync. It was flawless. And talk about no mess. I mean, the sweeping, picking up the debris, everything. I walked out to the yard and I was like, holy shit. I don't know any other way to say it. A really bravo to them. They worked really hard. They were wonderful.